Day 3, diary entry 4 in arriving into the transcendent state and my journey to assist others in this path, based on that when it happened for me the first time, I had no idea what was normal, and it was completely trusting. The pathway had only hurt a little bit. So for an update, today I've been able to communicate like a mostly cognitive human being. Can't answer questions, so I've noticed that, and I remember certain questions in the previous Transcendence. I would only be able to come out with really philosophical, universal sentences. I can speak more humanly at this point in time, which is great because my daughter has absolutely no clue what's going on. But she doesn't even realize. She just thinks mum's a little woo-woo. And she doesn't. It's so interesting. She watches, and this is what so she watches my TikTok, but she doesn't watch it. She just likes and supports, but she doesn't ask about my work, and she'll have the occasional conversation where she'll bring up something that's in mainstream media that has some kind of connection to truth, and there's a level of truth within her that is naturally embodied, but for her, she doesn't ask, I don't share, I don't push because her heart doesn't desire it. So the reason that I'm sharing that is based on blueprints DAC Transcendence, and that her blueprint for this incarnation, she is only coming to sacred heart purification, full embodiment of the heart and the sacral. So she will live in purpose, but she will not go through remembrance. She will live as a guide to change from the new earth energies, but she will not be what you might consider spiritual or moving through this path of presence with God. At this point in time, her blueprint doesn't have that. So her journey to transcendence is to transcend heartache, the broken heart, and to purify the heart, and to come into sacral power, and to be this strong, confident woman. Now, she's already well into that path, and she's only 13, and she is strong. She's got a lot of cultivation and a lot of embodiment, but when it comes from purification, she's worked through that for herself, amazingly, with no assistance, just with her own soul's guidance. Now, for myself, look, my blueprint had 2 points of transcendence within it. One was at the level of God consciousness, and one is what I'm arriving into now. And this arrival is completely different, yet the same. And each dark night of the soul is different, yet the same. Each initiation is different, yet the same. And the more that you traverse consciousness, the quantum field, the more that you understand the different things that pop up as the simplicities of what is taking place. So for someone who is choosing a transcended state to such a high degree of consciousness, knowing the blueprint and what is coded there to consciously work on it and use the archetypes, use the gifts, use the abilities, use the perspectives from a point of internal navigation will help to come to that point of arrival in a more easeful state. Now, in a more logistical point, I am radically losing information. I desire no food except potato with butter and cheese and tortilla wraps with cheese. I don't want any fruit, salad, meat. Can't even say it. So the body does not want any of that. MEAT. So what is occurring when we get to these points of attainment is the body's adjusting, right? So what I experienced in fresh from the bath has been a very supportive process for me because I had so much water element. I was a water bender and an air bender. So these elements of the earth body, being my body, were the strongest. So when I use water to cultivate, more energy moves. When I use the spirit molecule in the form of air, more energy moves. It was a practice of learning earth, and what is happening is the full cultivation of fire. Now, fire at an early age got suppressed based on the fiery energy, the intensity, the strong sexual potency. And so those energies of that fire element slowly got disconnected until they were completely separate from the physical, the body, which will create toxicity and sickness. So we can't attain until the body is in full balance of all four elements in the center of the medicine wheel. And so the body is going into re-merging and coming into homeostasis with the fire element. So there's been a lot of heat, constantly sweating, experiencing. If you imagine someone who's a waterbender in a hot bath, that's a lot of heat, and the body can go into a point of fear of the amount of intensity. It wants to move, it wants to distract. So learning to feel safe in the elements in the process. Your attainment might represent in a way where you realize that one of your elements is fully out, and you might not have realized that on your journey at all. You might not even see it until the grounding in stage and supporting you into that. So the awareness is that when the fire element comes into the body, that the body is then able to burn through the illness, the densities, the decay, the excess matter. And there's a lot here for me to share around the physical vessel and what my vessel's experienced, and how the DAC process is shifting matter and reconcile genetic conditions and different things that have been formations in the physical body. But to do that, to go through the instant natural healing, we need to be in that natural unified homeostasis. So sleeping has been challenging because there's a lot of energy that's coming up, and if it doesn't have somewhere to go, it's feeling like it's getting stuck. And so releasing that and trusting the flow of it, I'm not in a state where the body's releasing in all directions. So the body's releasing through the crown, the body's releasing through the heart, the body's challenged to release through the feet, which shows that there is a disconnection from sending the energy to the earth, which just by noticing, that allows for those connection points to be made. The body's releasing through the breath, the body's releasing through the sweat, the body's releasing, it requires support in the bladder, requires support in the bowels and the digestive tract. So the main area the body is challenged with releasing all of the energy is through the solar plexus and the root chakra flesh. And that's where the most of my inflammation, weight, and disturbance has manifested through this initiation. That the body is still experiencing a level of Now, what I'm doing here, right, is the technique. I've used the DAC process so many times, I no longer have to descend, ascend, complete. Now, this framework guides anyone who can come into their heart, anyone who can take 3 deep breaths can use this process for any stage of development, not just enlightenment. But because I'm so integrated in this ability, I can go straight to the core point of information and transcribe that. Some might call that medical mediumship. Some might call that intuitive healing. Some might call it using your channel. It's actually all of these different archetypal expressions, gifts, and abilities that a channel is integrated through the DAC process. So you can become all of them all at once, that you never need to go to a psychic. You never need to go to an oracle. You never need to go to someone to get an intuitive healing. You have that capacity within yourself all of the time. And it's it saves a lot of money, and that the empowerment to be able to heal yourself, to know where to go, to know what to unlock, to know how to start to listen to the natural state of our being is so powerful. So the sacral, the main point is there is a disassociated area of the flesh that is holding a memory. And the memory that's sitting there is challenged in coming into the state. So the cells of that memory, I have a choice as this point. I can look at the memory. Does it have relevance to the now moment? Yes, it does. Okay. So then we look at the memory. If you were to look into your cells and there was no relevance to your sacred hearts now, you just ask the cells to unlock. You ask the body to unlock and come into the point of transcendence. Okay, we don't need that anymore. We don't require these cells. We don't require this contraction, resistance, illness, disease, lower vibrational matter. The matter can now shift into the perfect expression of self. And you talk to each and every aspect of the body until you come into that 100% attainment. Now, I'm at 62.7. Yet, my body was releasing for a long time before I even arrived. So I don't have a trajectory or a time of how long it will take. The truth that I've asked for is ease and grace in this attainment, because other times of arrival have been hard. I haven't been able to facilitate. I've had to stop work. I've spent 3 weeks in bed. I haven't been able to drive. I have planned to have a daughter's day tomorrow. Now, there's a part of me going, oh, am I going to be able to cope with humans? What is required for me to be able to do that, to be able to experience that? Because I have the past reference. But if you didn't, you don't. It's like a complete stopping of life until the landing of the new state, because nothing works and everything is finding its way to being able to support. What else is there that I'm experiencing? Receiving a lot of support right now and getting a beautiful foot and leg massage from my beloved, who is supporting me on the physical level to move the crystallized cells that are holding the inflammation, that are holding the energy, because that's what it is. It's codes, it's templates, it's libraries, all in this vessel, which is why I know that when this body resets to its 0 point, that I will look extremely different, that I will be very lean, because that's what I've been shown. I've been shown that will mean that I've come to a point of internal currency sustainability, right? Which is the ability to hold thyself and everything in thyself's reality without disturbance, influence, overwhelm, without fatigue. This is what transcendence is. It's coming to a state of mastering the reality that you have come to, right? So you've mastered it. Until you are able to hold that reality, though, there is a level of mastery that is occurring. And so there hasn't been any specific questions that have come through in these diary entries, so I would love for the support of questions so that I can, in these moments, sometimes I can't think of anything, so it does feel true to leave that here. These are nice, short updates, and just a lot of energy as my legs and my feet are being massaged is coming up from my abdomen and from that area of memory. Now that I've seen that memory, I need to look at that memory, and I know that that memory has something to do with my love right here. So it is something that we will now go and make the space for and traverse and see what is here for us both, so that we can further support our body, our arrival, and our relationship. Anything else? No. I love you. I don't know.